Good afternoon, everybody. This is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. We're going to get started with our KWConnect overview class here in just a second. Before we get started, a couple of things to keep in mind. This class is recorded. It'll be available at slmtraining.com. Hopefully in just a couple of hours I can get it up today, but if not, at the latest tomorrow. And then if you're having trouble hearing on your computer, we do have those instructions there for how you can listen in on your phone. Just give it give that number a call and put in that code and you'll be good to go. So let's get this minimized here and switch over to my KW here. There we go, zoom in so you guys can see. So to access KWConnect, now before we get started, what is KWConnect? And I apologize, we have some electrician work going on today, so I apologize if there's any background noise for you guys. So KWConnect is KW International's learning resource. It's where all the how-to such and such videos are found that are put out by KW International. It's also a place for KW agents to share content with each other, whether it's videos or documents or templates or scripts or anything like that, to share with each other to build each other's business. It's sort of a social network, but it's more of a content network, more like YouTube than Facebook, if that makes sense. So to access KWConnect, the easiest way is to get logged into mykw.kw.com, and then up in the very top black menu, we'll click on Education right here, and that'll take us straight into KWConnect. You could visit kwconnect.com and try to log in separately, but we hear more questions about my login information isn't working for KWConnect than almost anything else, and we're not sure what causes that. If you do run into that, you could contact KW International support. They should be able to help you with that. But for us, we found the easiest way to access Connect is through clicking that education link on the MyKW homepage, and that should take you right here. This takes you to the KWU page where you can find different courses from KW International. Instead, we're going to click on the KWConnect logo up here in the top left to go to the home page. And while we're waiting for that to load, I do want to point one more quick thing out for you. If you'll look up near the top of your screen, you should have the same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center, that's going to open up the chat window. If you have any questions, if there's anything that you're unclear on, anything I missed, anything you'd like me to cover that I haven't, definitely send me those questions there in the chat window. I will be monitoring that here on my other screen. Where was I? Okay, so we're going to start here on the KWConnect homepage. We're actually going to start down here at the bottom of the screen where this Accept Cookies button is. It's not, by continuing to use the site, you are accepting cookies, but clicking this button removes that little pop-up there. And you do have to click that button each and every time you come over to KWConnect. It's not you click it once and you're done forever. So I just wanted to point that out there. So starting at the top of the KWConnect homepage, we've got that logo there, and anytime you click on this logo, it'll take you back to this page. So if you get lost and you're not sure how to get to where you need to go, probably going back to the homepage is a great idea. So you click on that KWConnect logo and come back here to this page. Coming over to the right, we've got the menu here for KWConnect. We're going to go into each of these options in more detail in just a little bit, but I wanted to cover the rest of the homepage first. Just to the right of this menu here, we've got this little magnifying glass icon. That is the universal symbol. Sorry about that. That's the universal symbol for search. Anytime you see a magnifying glass anywhere on any website, that means search. So when we click on that, that's going to pop out the search bar in place of that menu there. This search bar will be available on any page in KWConnect, but you'll notice on the home page here, there is this search bar underneath that menu. That is just here on the home page. Anywhere else you would want to search using this little magnifying glass icon here where it opens up on the menu. To the right of that, we've got the upload button. This is where you can add your own content here to KWConnect. So that's videos, that's documents, that's links to external pages, that's what else do you have? You can add an image or you can add an audio file. Not many people do the audio file, but it is there as an option. You can maybe record a FSBO call or something, or record a FSBO practice that you're doing with your member of your team or something, and you can put that up as an audio file here in KWConnect. And then to the right of that, in this little circle, will be either your picture or your initials, And then we have the option of My Profile, Notifications, Community, Help, and Log Out. We're going to cover My Profile after we get through with the home page here, because this is one of the more important pieces, and then we'll look at the rest of the stuff as we go. Coming down under the search bar, you'll have noticed, and it's fairly intrusive as I'm doing the class here, you'll have noticed these different banners sliding through here. These are basically quote-unquote ads for things that are going on at KW International and here in KWConnect. Most of them are just going to be content here in KWConnect, and you'll be able to see, like the latest in technology and registering for family reunion, things like that. So if you click on any of those, you'll get more information about whatever it is that's there from KW International for the time being. Under that, this section here, latest in tech, is I'm not sure why they call it latest in tech. I guess they're calling it that in what's it they called? In preparation for the Command and Kelly systems to be coming out of labs and just being part of KW technology. But for now, latest in tech means latest in labs, and you can see the newest news from KW International here in this section. So most recently, January 13th, that was 10 days ago, KW International had the latest in labs. Sorry about that, that's that work going on. It's right below my floor here. KWConnect had that latest in labs on the 13th there, and that's the newest with what's going on with Command and Kelly. Under that, this is featured content, and it is going to be videos by default. We have yet to figure out how this featured content gets chosen to be here on the homepage. We can't tell whether it's the newest content from KW International or whether it's the most popular content or if it's maybe handpicked from KW International. But you can see some of the featured content here from KW International. Under that, we've got upcoming courses. This is pulling information from the calendars of every market center in all of KW. And it looks like there's an agent financials class starting, 2 days from now on Friday. We have several Ignites starting in the next couple of days. There's a growth through value starting on the 28th. So you can get an overview of what's coming up soon. And if you're interested in any of those, you can click on one to go see which market center that's at and more information about registering for that class. And then also over on the right, you can get to the full calendar of all events going on across all of KW. Under that, we've got trending searches. This is very similar to the trends on Google. Market update is the most searched term, and then MCA, I'm not even sure what that is, MCAgic calls? I'm not sure, but people are also searching for that. So you can look at what other people are looking for here. And then these recommendations, I believe, are handpicked from KW International, mostly about technology, but also about how KW is doing as a whole. So that's our home page. Before we get into the menu here, I do want to cover this profile. So let's hover over your picture or initials here in the top right and click on My Profile. This is the profile that other agents are going to see when they search for you in the referrals network. And we're going to cover that in a little bit as well. We're going to cover, that's going to be essentially the back half of the class. We're going to cover an overview of almost everything in the front half, and then we'll get in-depth in referrals in the back half. So when someone searches in that referrals network for an agent to send a referral to, they're going to see this profile right here, and you're in control of this profile. One thing to keep in mind here is that only other KW agents are seeing this profile. This is not public. Clients aren't seeing this, agents outside the company aren't seeing this, your friends and family aren't seeing this. It's only for other KW agents to see. So you can dispense with the marketing and the things like that. This is not a thing for clients to see. This is for other agents to see, to choose whether or not they want to work with you for this referral. So starting at the top here, we've got this kind of banner image. This has some specific dimensions that I'm going to show you in just a little bit. And it's very similar to like a Facebook cover page, or excuse me, cover image or a Twitter cover image or things like that. Then we've got your picture here that shows in this circle. You can change that picture by clicking on that button right there. Also, you can do that by clicking Edit My Profile. Those go to the exact same page. I'm not going to spend much time on all these tabs here. You can click through those. They're fairly self-explanatory. Under that, We've got the About Me section, which is a biography. This biography can be the same as you have on your public profiles, or you can make it different, more geared towards other agents to show them what you can do with their referrals, because like I said, only other agents are seeing this. Clients are not seeing this. Under that, it has some statistics here, and you can click and drag this to see more statistics. And it's showing you in the last 12 months, and then like your years with KW, years in real estate. And you can control the statistics that show on your profile here, and we'll show you that in just a minute as well. Under that, we've got memberships. So if you're a member of commercial, KWYP, KW International, land, farm and ranch, those will show over here. And then service area is also controlled in the profile, and you just type it in right here. Now, service area, before we get into editing the profile, this is again for other agents to see. So this is the area that you do actually do business in. This is not an area that you hope to do business in for other expecting clients to say, oh, they work in this area even though you've never worked in that area. You're hoping to. So this is not for clients. This is for other agents to show that I do have expertise in this particular area. So you're not going to list every city within 50 miles of you in this section. Okay, coming back up to the top, we can either click on the change photo or the edit my profile here, go to the same page. And first thing here, we've got upload photo. This is where you can upload a new picture of yourself for that profile for other agents to see. Again, no clients. I'm going to cover that a lot. No clients are seeing this profile. Under that, we've got the upload banner image. And if you hover over this little eye icon right here, it tells you required dimensions are width 1920 pixels, height 313 pixels. Those are exact. They cannot be anything different, even 1 pixel off on either height or width. And if you need help creating a banner image or resizing the banner image that you have to fit there, we actually have a class specifically for resizing your image to be exactly 1920 wide by 313 tall. If your image is any different, if it's 1921 wide, it won't accept it. If it's 312 tall, it won't accept it. It has to be exactly these numbers. Under that, you update your email, your phone number, mobile phone. I don't know why these are separate fields. Maybe this would be like an office number, desk number, and then this would be a cell number. That service area that was at the bottom, this is where you're controlling that, so you can list 2 or 3 areas that you actually are an expert in. You don't want to mislead other agents that are sending you referrals, because if you handle that referral badly, guess what? They're not going to give you another referral in the future. So you only want to work with referrals in the areas that you actually are an expert in. Under that, here's your biography. Again, that can be the same as on your public profiles, or you can gear this more towards other agents about maybe your experience, especially in these particular areas or with referrals. Under that, your full links for your social media goes here. And this does need to be the full http:// the entire link. In other places in KW, it does want just the part after the slash, but here on KWConnect, it wants the entire link here. And if you need help finding these public profile links, we have a class for that as well, and I'm sending you guys the link for that in the chat window. If you're just joining us and you're not sure what I mean by the chat window, if you look up near the top center of your screen here, you should have these same 5 buttons that I do. If you'll click on this one just to the left of center that looks like a speech bubble, that'll open up the chat window and you'll see those links that I just sent to you guys there. And if you have any questions, you can ask me those questions in that chat window as well. Under that, for custom tags, this is again for other agents to see, not for clients to see. This is not for search engine results. This has nothing to do with your website. This has to do with the content that you put here in KWConnect for other agents to use. So say you're a buyer's agent on a team and you're uploading content that is like buyer scripts or walkthrough tips or things like that. And in this section, you put in custom tags, FSBO scripts. That's not actually applicable to any kind of content that you would be putting on KWConnect. So when people search FSBO scripts, you would come up and they'd be disappointed because you don't actually have anything to do with FSBO scripts. So you want this to be as accurate as possible for your content here in KWConnect. Again, this is not seen by clients. It does not affect your search engine optimization. It has nothing to do with your website. This is only internal here in KWConnect. And then under this for primary market center, if you're a member of just one market center, you can ignore this. It's only going to have the one option in there. But if you're a member of more than one market center, you would select the market center that you want to show up for in search results in the referrals section. So if someone goes to the referrals map and they look for a specific market center and they click on that market center, you want your name to show under that market center. Unfortunately, that's you can only select one market center as your primary. That's what it means. Primary means first, means one. Under that, we've got email frequency here. This is how often you're going to receive notifications about your referrals, about people interacting with your content here in KWConnect. And there's no way to turn it off completely. It's either get a notification for each update, every day, or every week. And then under that, we have the option of turning on or off those statistics that I showed you how to slide through left and right on your profile for other agents to see. You can turn this yes for on, no for off, and it'll only show the statistics that you want people to see here. Now, you'll notice on Scott's profile, I was showing closed units even though this is off here. That happens a lot. If that happens to your profile, you'll want to contact KW International Support. And if you need information about contacting them, that's support@kw.com or area code 512-306-7191. That'll get you through to KW International Support. We have no way to help fix this if it's showing information that it's not supposed to. Only KW International can. Once you've made any changes to your profile here, including adding your picture or anything, you can click Update either down here at the very bottom or up at the very top. Both of those buttons will save all the changes that you've made on this page. If you don't click Update, any changes that you made are lost and you would need to redo them. Alrighty, coming back up here to the menu here, let's hover over Memberships. I'm not going to go into each of these pages. My memberships is like it was showing on the profile, either commercial or luxury or farm and ranch, KWYP, CIPS, any of those things, or GPS. That'll show on my memberships, and you can get information about joining those different divisions of KW on Explore memberships. Calendar we are going to click on because this is the calendar of all training events, all events, not even just training, across all of KW, every market center, everywhere. Now, depending on what your filters were last time you were here, it'll retain those filters. But if we click on Advanced Filter up here in the top left in red above the current month, you can filter this out by to be wider or smaller. So this is all MC events. This is every market center across all of KW. And this is filtering by event type class. And then what event are we searching for? This is Ignite. So this is every Ignite that's going on across all of KW. So what is today? Today is the 23rd. There are 36 Ignite classes going on across all of KW. Tomorrow there are, 9 Ignite classes. That's a Dotwood workshop. Apparently people are miscategorizing their events. Under that, we've got 30 Ignite classes on Friday. On Monday, we've got 27 Ignite classes. So you can find classes that are going on at market centers near you this way, or at your market center or in your region. Let's click on Advanced Filter again, and let's uncheck that. And we'll go to my region here and click on Apply Filter. This is going to show me Ignite classes in my region. And it looks like there aren't any hosted by my region, so let me uncheck that and do all regional events instead. Apply filter. And it looks like there's nothing showing there. So you would have to do all MC events, unfortunately. You can also look at events that are going on at KW International. That's over in Austin, Texas. They do host classes there, so I'm going to undo Ignite here and do Apply Filter and see what classes are coming up at KW International here. It looks like they've got franchise systems orientation that started on Monday. Doesn't look like much going on for the rest of this month, but you could also go over here to February. Let's uncheck that class thing there and see what else is going on. You don't have much on the schedule. There we go, franchise system orientation in March. And then, let's see here. The rest of these are fairly self-explanatory. If you do have questions about the calendar here, definitely send them over to me in the chat window. Back up to the top menu, we'll hover over resources here. We're going to click into some of these, but not all of these. KWConnect Live is things like Latest in Labs is broadcast live, or certain other classes they do live here in KWConnect, and you can get the schedule of those as well as find the recordings of those. Welcome to Associates is resources for new agents, like finding the KW logo and information about branding, and let's figure out what else is on here actually. Getting your Kelly app, stay informed, next steps, learn about profit share. So if you're a new agent, this is probably a good page to check out. It's not exhaustive, it doesn't look like, but it's a good place to get started. Also under resources, we've got culture. Culture is the way that KW as a company, and as individual associates relates to people, and whether that's other brokers that you're working with across the deal, or your clients, or other people across the industry. That's how KW, this is prescribing how you and we and everybody in KW is supposed to treat other people. So you find the Y4C2Ts in there, we find the KBVDP, all of those things, the mission, vision, values, all of that is here on that page. Events is the big events. It's family reunion, mega camp, masterminds, KW commercial retreat, Red Day. You can find information about those KW international events on these. For industry, this is how KW International is working within the real estate industry. Information like from Inman and how things are going with Zillow and what the market is doing, things like that, you can find on that page. Keller Mortgage is information about how to sign up for Keller Mortgage if your market center has that available, including getting that added to your KW app. If you have questions about that, contact KW International. Under that, we've got KWU, which was that page that we first came to when we clicked on education. This is where you can find all the official courses and curriculums and things like that from KW International. And it's got a knife pulled out here separately, but this is also here under courses. And if I click on courses, we can see the full list of KW International provided courses that have curriculum and specific ways to teach them, and faculty and things like that. And there are a lot of them, it looks like. I'm not sure how many exactly, but you can find Ignite here. It is alphabetical by default. You can also sort this by highest rated, which is of course going to be, I thought that was going to be Ignite first. Oldest first, things like that. So you can find the information, let me do this alphabetical again. You can find the information about the classes that you're attending here, and if you click on an individual class, there are different options available for different classes. There's information about getting started here, resources. This is where you're going to find all your print materials, your PDFs for class, and then the My Tracker, which is the daily 10-4, which your instructor can tell you more about there. Coming back up under resources, we've got MAPS coaching. This is information about getting into group or individual or mastery or other types of coaching from MAPS. Marketing is where you can find, let's look here, logos and branding, a listing presentation template. That's the number one thing people ask us about as far as templates. Where do I find a listing presentation? Right here, under resources, marketing. Right here, listing presentation template. Write that down, please. You can find the official KW logos here for your market center if that's available, or for KW International. You can get red label clothing. You can find social media templates and how to build your social media presence, press release templates out front, KW's magazine, and resources for leadership there. Information for MCAs, so this is like Account Edge and Win More and MC Angels, things like that. Technology is going to have that latest in labs on there, and information about how to use your different KW technology tools like the app and KW Command and Kelly and things like that. Leverage means hiring in KW. Whenever you see leverage relating to KW, that means hiring. So if you want information about, what is that class called? Let's go look at it. I'm totally blanking on the name. Career visioning. There we go. If you want information about career visioning and who to hire and how to hire and what to hire and how to do it, that's what you can find on this page here. And then profit share, you can ask your team leader for more information about. They can get you that. You can also learn more about it on this page here. Ask Agents up here in the top menu is a forum. It's supposed to be other agents asking other agents how to do this. How do you market your local listing internationally, things like that. More information, groups in command. So it's agents helping other agents be agents, basically. Instead, what it's turned into, which is not what it was intended for, is people posting referral requests or posting their listings or things like that and that's not what it's supposed to be for. So if you're using this section, please use it for asking questions or sharing information, not for asking for referrals or asking for somebody to host your open house or things like that. That's not what this is for. If you're looking for a referral, or if you want to share your referral intentions with a bunch of other agents, you can do that under My Referrals, and I'm going to show you how here. Coming over here to technology, we've got videos that show you how to use, let's see, Ignite online classes don't go anywhere. Okay, viewer 102, Ignite online classes don't go anywhere when you click on view video, please advise. That's not something I can help with. You'll have to contact KW International Support at support@kw.com. We're not in charge of KWConnect. We don't run any of this. We don't provide any of this content. We're just showing you what KW is providing. And if you have any issues with what's in KWConnect, you'll have to contact KW. So technology, you can see the latest in labs there. There's how-to videos, all kinds of stuff on that page. And then other resources, let's check that out there. What's on this page? Information about the Killer Cloud and Kelly and things like that. That's general pages about those. We're going to skip My Referrals for just a minute and jump over to growth because we're going to spend the rest of the class on referrals. We're right about halfway through the class, so we'll do the rest of the class here after we cover growth. So growth is defined different ways depending on who you're applying it to. The top one here, the Career Growth Initiative, is for individual agents and teams to build their careers, to build up their business, and be able to have more income and all that. Okay. Gotcha. That was one of the electricians there. So that's how you can build your business. If you need more information about that, you would want to contact your team leader about setting your goals and using those CGI tools. They provide a calculator, they provide templates, they provide, what is that called? Your pipeline template, scripts, all that stuff is here in the Career Growth Initiative. The Regular Growth Initiative, with that career in front of it, is how KW International grew to be the #1 real estate company in the United States. I believe this began in 2007. I could be very off on that, but I believe in 2007, KW International created the Growth Initiative for team leaders, and it had specific instructions for how team leaders were supposed to be recruited, how many appointments to go on, what way to talk to agents, how to track those people in their pipeline. It had the lore report in there. It had a bunch of different materials that team leaders could use with those agents. And that's how KW grew to be #1 in agent count, listings closed, buy sides closed, volume, and we're holding that position as far as I'm aware, and it's because of the Growth Initiative. And the Growth Initiative has been proven to work. That's how we became #1. We know this works. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Growth Initiative was translated to the Career Growth Initiative using the exact same principles of appointments and listings and closings and tools and what are they called? Materials and scripts and things like that. It was translated from this proven how we became #1 to the Career Growth Initiative for individual agents. So it works. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This is guaranteed to work, and talk to your team leader about that. Growth Resources is something I'm a little bit, there you go, resources, let's see, it looks like tools and templates for that. And then Leadership Opportunities is information about becoming a team leader or an MCA or an OP or things like that. And then Expansion is for agents who want to expand their team either into other existing market centers or into opening new market centers. Okay, let's come over here to My Referrals. This is where we're going to spend the rest of our class here. As far as accessing referrals, let me jump over here to my account. You can also access this from the MyKW homepage by clicking on this red My Referrals button right underneath your picture on the homepage. It will go to this page right here. So let's see here. How do I want to go about this? Let's go ahead and split screen this. Going to bring up my page here, and I'm going to go into My Referrals. So moving forward, one thing to keep in mind is on the left here is Scott, and on the right is me. So I'm going to be acting as Scott, and I'm going to be acting as myself as well. And you'll see these are basically identical here. So the referrals network was from what I can tell from KW International, it was generated in about 90 days from concept to actually being put in place. And they're trying to move quickly with coming out with technology tools moving forward, including Kelly and Command and all that. So they're adding new features all the time there. But referrals looks to be pretty good to go at this point. So this is where you can search for other agents to send your referral to, or you can add agents to your referral network so that you can send each other referrals back and forth moving forward in the future. And we'll talk about how to do most of those things as we move forward. Excuse me, all those things. So let's start with the big red button right here in the middle, Grow My Network. And actually, I do want to make this full screen to show you the full process here. So growing your referral network is adding agents to your hand-picked list of people that you believe you're actually going to send referrals to or receive referrals from. These are people that you are pretty strongly believing that you're actually going to do business with. This is not supposed to be a social media network. This is not, you're not sharing memes, you're not sharing tips and tricks. That's not what this is for. And this is not supposed to be, let's see who can get the biggest quote-unquote friends list. That's not how this goes either. This is supposed to be small. This is supposed to be a short list of people that you're actually expecting to work with in the future. It's not where you're going to add every single person in your market center or everybody in your region or everybody you've ever heard of in KW. These are people you actually maybe have met and actually have a relationship with and think you're actually going to do business with. So let's get that out of the way to begin with. Okay, so when you are searching for someone to add to your referral network, there's a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to start with up here in the top right, find by name, and you just type that agent's name. So I'm going to search for me. And I don't have to hit enter, it'll just do that automatically. It starts with my referral network. It's going to show you people that match this name that are already in your referral network. And I am not in Scott's referral network. I'm in Scott's profile here. So out of my network, there's me in the York, Pennsylvania Market Center. That was my most recent market center that I worked with there. And from here, I can click on that name, or Scott can click on that name, and it'll pop up to asking me whether I want to send an invitation to this agent to join my referral network. You can send the invitation with or without a note. You could add a note of something like, hey, I met you at family reunion or at mega camp, and I think you're a great agent. I'd like to do business with you if I do have a client moving to your area, something like that. And you can send them that invitation or just leave it blank. I'm going to send that invitation from Scott to myself here. And then once that invitation is sent, it pops up the form to actually send them the referral rather than just the invitation to join your referral network. And you can start at the top here with whether this is a buyer, seller, or renter. Oh, before we get moving too much further, these are all required. Every single one of these fields is required, including the notes down at the bottom, all required, okay? So let them know whether this is a buyer, seller, or renter that you're sending them. If it's actually, no matter what kind it is, it just changes a couple of fields there. So you can let them know, okay, I'm sending you this buyer. I'm requesting a referral fee of, it's going to start at the default 25%. You can move that higher or lower here. I'm going to move it up to, like 75%, as close as I can get there, just so that I can show you guys what a counter looks like in a little bit. So Scott is sending me a buyer, and he's requesting 76% of my commission for sending him this referral. That's a little bit ridiculous, and we'll address that in just a little bit. Under that, we've got acceptance deadline. This is how long the agent you're sending the referral to has to accept, counter, or deny this referral. And we'll talk more about that later. You can do as little as 1 hour or as many as 4 days, 96 hours. Under that, we've got the price range that they're looking to buy in. If you change this to seller, you've got the price range they're looking to sell in. So we're going to do a minimum price of, say, $200,000. There's enough zeros there, and a maximum of 500,000. That's a big range there, one more zero. But this is a fake referral that's being sent. Under that, we've got the name of this client. This is going to be first name, comma, last name in one field here. So Joe Schmo. There we go, Joe Schmo. And then the location is by default going to be the location that your primary market center is in. But if it's outside that actual city, you could change that there if this agent works in that particular area, which is not within the city limits of the market center. Client email, so joe@schmo.com, and the phone number for that client, something like that. And then how soon is this client looking to buy or sell or rent? In 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or you can do a custom of number of months like 4. We'll put that in there. And then for buyers, is this buyer pre-approved for a mortgage? And we'll check that box and let them know, yes, this buyer is motivated, they're pre-approved. And then under that, we have to add a note. Like I said, all the fields are required. So we're going to put in a note, my brother moving to PA, something like that. We'll just leave it there. And we'll send referral. Phone number is invalid, so I'm going to put in Scott Lawrence Marketing's number. There we go. Send referral. There we go. So now that's been sent from Scott to me. We'll look at that in just a little bit. We're going to continue looking at the map here to find agents to, and I just got a notification on Kelly. When someone sends you a referral request, it'll pop up a notification from Kelly as well. So we're going to continue searching for agents to add to our referral networks or send a referral to, or even broadcast a referral. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. So if we look up here near the top left, underneath the filters, we have a search box for zip code or city. I'm going to put in Denver. Search for Denver, Colorado. Click on that one. And it's going to show me production in Denver. And each of these dots that's going to pop up here, and there's going to be a lot of them, is a closed deal whenever it does finally pop up. There we go. All these blue dots here, each and every one of these is a closed deal, and you can click on that and it actually doesn't do anything. Okay, so over on the left on the map is the closed deals, and on the right are the agents who have closed these deals in this area. It's by default going to be sorted by closed units. So Brandon Bartik of the Bartik Group, he has the most closed deals out of all these dots here. And then there's Daniel Dixon and all that. You can sort this by name if you want to. If you're looking for a specific person, you can sort it by last name. This dude is going to be at the top of the list because of the last name and first name. Let's see. Leases. Who has leases? Okay, fine. Closed units. So we're just going to leave it at closed units. So there are 1,187 closed units in the last 12 months in this area, and this guy has the most of them. So I could invite him to my network, or I could send him a referral, either one of those. If I invite him to my network, I'll have the opportunity to also send him a referral at the same time, but I can send him a referral without him being in my network. That wasn't the case at the beginning, but enough people wanted to send referrals to people that they didn't actually know that KW International changed that. So you can send referrals to people that aren't already in your network. What you can also do is filter this down a little further. So map view, we're in production right now. That's why it's showing all the separate dots. We could also change this to market centers. And this is going to show me market centers in the area. It looks like there's 5 market centers. And if I click on a market center, let's do this one here by, I don't know what that is. It's Denver Central Market Center. It's going to show me there are 155 agents in this market center. It's just going to randomly show me agents here. I can sort this by closed units. Oops, closed units. Right there, and that Brendan Bartik will be at the top of the list again. I can sort this by name or by sides, things like that. It's going to be Bartik again. And you can select an agent to invite to the network or send them the referral as well. If I close this out here, it'll shrink those down. If I click on this again, I can click my network. It'll show me agents in this area that are already in my referral network. There aren't any for Scott. Scott's network is 1 person currently, so you're not going to show there. So I'm going to go back up here to production, if it'll let me. There we go. And now I can filter this further. So filter by minimum number of closed units. Whenever it finishes loading. There we go. So we can filter by minimum number of closed units. So Denver is a big area. There's a lot of high producers and things like that. So I can set this to a fairly high number. So minimum number of closed units, we'll call it 30. That's buy side and sell side. So if we click on filter, that's going to filter out some of these 1,187 here to just 25 agents. We can also filter this down to, okay, I'm referring a buyer who's going to be moving to this area. So I can skip the listing sold, but if you're referring a listing to this person, you can filter it by listing sold. So I've got a buyer, so I can filter by number of buy sides. So I want at least 25 of those total 30 closed units to be buy side versus sell side. So we'll filter that. It's going to bring it down to 14 agents. So that's a much shorter list there. We can also filter this by leases or KW specialization. So is this person in maps coaching? Are they an expansion agent? Are they in KWYP? Are they in GPS? I'm going to do KWYP, see if anything comes up here. Filter that. There is nobody that has at least 30 closed units with 25 buy sides in KWYP. So we'll undo that one. We'll do mastery client. Is this person in coaching? And of course, there's Brendan Bartik at the top of the list again. And so at this point, actually a couple of steps back, you could have clicked on this broadcast referral here, and it's going to send the opportunity to have this referral to everybody that meets the search criteria that's in this list here. So let me take off the specializations here and update that. So now I've got my, what was that, 14, 18, 14. So there's 14 agents that meet these criteria here. I could broadcast this referral to all 14 of them. They'll get basic information about this referral, whether it's a buyer, seller, or renter, what fee you're looking for and how soon they have to accept, and the minimum and maximum price. They're not going to get name or phone number or email until you get responses back from them and you decide, okay, I'm giving the referral to that person. And then it would send them the name and email and all that there. So I'm not actually going to send this to these people because they have no idea what's going on here, and I don't actually have a referral to send to them, so I don't want to make them mad. But that's how broadcasting a referral works. You can also take any of these people that meet these search criteria and add them to your referral network, or send them a request to add to your referral network. And now it's up to them whether or not they accept that request. And in most cases, they're not going to, or at least they're not supposed to. Okay, so let me split screen this again. Remember, on the left is Scott, on the right is me. So I'm going to go back to my referrals here, and I'm going to refresh the page on my side. So now here, let's see, I sent the referral request from Scott to me. So if I look at pending invitations here, I've got a lot of pending invitations. None of these people are going to be in my referral network. I don't know why people keep trying to add me to the referral network, because I'm not going to accept it. I'm not an agent. I don't have referrals to send or referrals to work. So anyway, so I've got one here from Scott. These are alphabetical. So what I can do with this one from Scott is I can accept it. So now Scott and I are connected here in the referrals network, and we can find each other easily to send referrals to moving forward. And if I refresh Scott's side over here, now Scott has both, eventually, both his friend Rob and me in his referral list here. If I go back to my referrals, now I'll be able to find Scott in my list as well, eventually. There he is there. So back on my referrals here. So if you look up at the top here, we've got one under awaiting response, both for Scott and for me. It's because it's awaiting response from me back to Scott. It's still in that status there. So if I click on this on my side, there we go. There's that referral from Scott to me. And looking at this, okay, you know, 200K to 500K, I can work that. They're looking to move in 4 months, easy peasy. That's in my service area. Okay, I'll work with the buyer. And yes, they're pre-approved. Awesome. Good plus sign there. And okay, this is Scott's brother who's moving. But hey, this referral fee, this 76%, that is redonkulous. I hope that was a mistake. I'm going to counter this. But the other options are to accept it outright, or to reject it and say, no, I don't want to work with this person. But I'm going to counter this back to Scott. And I'm going to say, no, I'm going to put this referral fee back down to, you know, the industry standard here of 25%. And you have 5 hours to get back to me about whether that referral fee is good for you. You know, I hope that referral fee was a mistake, because you are nuts if you think you're actually getting that, something like that. And then I'll click counter. So now that's still under awaiting response. So if I come back over to Scott's, it'll still show up there under awaiting response, but now it's awaiting a response from Scott back to me. So if I go in here, I've got that note there from me back to Scott. I hope that referral fee was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. So I can accept this counter from me back to Scott, or I can counter again, or I can reject it and say, no, that referral fee was what I really wanted. Forget you. I'm just going to go give it to somebody else. even though they're not going to get much money off it. Anyway, but I'm going to accept this so that we can actually work on this. And you can send an optional note letting the agent who sent you the referral or countered that referral say, yeah, that was an oops, left the mouse button clicked too long. So we'll accept that there. So now if I refresh the page, or actually on Scott's page here, when it refreshes, it's going to move that down to outbound. And on mine, it'll show it as inbound. Outbound means from, and it's from Scott. Inbound means to, and it's to me. Referral from Scott to me. Easy peasy. So at this point, you can do a number of things with the referral. You can send an update back to the referring agent. In fact, the referral agent can send you a note about this client that maybe they just remembered. You can view the activity log for this referral, which is going to show you everything that's happened here. It's going to show the oldest at the bottom, the initial referral sent, the counter, and then the acceptance there. I'm going to send an update back to Scott from me. Showed 3 houses, not the right fit yet. Try again next weekend. Something like that. So send that update. So now if I come back to Scott's and refresh that, that'll show as the note here. And then Scott could send a note back, and I could go back and forth as we go through the process. And then once this closes or falls through, we would want to close this referral. So whether it made it all the way to the closing table, or if it actually fell through and we didn't actually get to close this referral, you'll tell it whether it did close, and then you just click submit, and that's that. Or if it did not close, you have to provide a reason to the referring agent and to the system here why it didn't close. So we're going to do this as did not close. Your brother is too picky and wouldn't decide on a house even after viewing, we'll call it 75 because that's a ridiculous number that would never actually happen of them. There we go. So we'll submit that. And now that is no longer here under my referrals. It's not an inbound or outbound. It's instead under closed referrals. And if I come look at Scott's, it's going to move it there as well. Eventually. Whatever. Yeah, okay. So coming back over to my side here, that was it was not an expired, it was not a rejected, it was not, or it was a lost. It was not a funded, I believe is the last one. Yeah, funded is the one where it actually did make it all the way through to closing. So this one was lost, and it's going to show the most recent one up front. No, it didn't. It shows the most recent one at the end of the list. And you can view the activity log to see what happened back and forth, or you can even reopen this referral and say, hey, they called me back and they found one they really loved. We're actually going to go all the way through. And then you can close it as closed, and it would go down here to funded. So any referral you've worked on in the past, it is going to show here as what's it called, closed referrals. And if you want to view the active referrals that you currently work on, that would be under active referrals. Okay, let's go back to the dashboard here. If you have multiple referrals in the works, you can see the count there and the inbound or outbound or an awaiting response there. You can see your list of referral network people here. Scrolling down, you can send them a referral, view more contact details, or remove them from an agent. Or remove that agent from your list. You can enter a manual referral to track just basically for your records, or you can send a referral to kind of anybody there. Let me think here. Did I miss anything? What is this plus sign here? Add a tag. Let's see, land. Okay, so you could search for land within your referral network here. You can also add notes to your referral partners. Only you will see these. The referral partner won't see those. What else have we got here? I think that's pretty much it, and we're doing good on time. Let's go back to our KWConnect homepage and spend a little bit more time on searching. And by the way, if there's anything I missed or anything you're unclear on, definitely send those over to me in the chat window. Up at the top, click on the speech bubble icon. That'll open up the chat window. You can send me questions if you have them. Eventually. Okay, that's nice. Come back down here. There we go. So let's go to search. So we're going to search for FSBO scripts. So I don't know why this is under FSBO script. I think it might be because this guy might be a listing agent. He has that in his profile under tags. So it's going to show newest first by default, but let's start at the top here. So this is what you searched for, and it's showing all types of media that are here in KWConnect. So that's all videos, audio, users, documents, links, KWU courses, pages, communities, and vendors. You can filter this down to videos, to audio, to users that meet that tag, and apparently they don't. Or users who match that name, actually. We could search for like John Davis. Go to users here. And there he is right there. Well, there are several John Davises, but this is the John Davis. Let's go back to that FSBO script search. There we go. Documents that people have uploaded, so like PDFs or Word files. No, ma'am, the Kelly class, Vera 95, the Kelly class was last week, and that was recorded, and that is available at slmtraining.com. This is KWConnect. This is January 23rd, looking at the calendar here. I'm going to pop this up there for you. 23rd, KWConnect overview. The Kelly class was actually last week, and we'll be doing it again next week. So if you missed it last week, you can catch it next week, or it was recorded at slmtraining.com. Okay. Where was I? Let's search this for FSBO. Oh, we did search for FSBO scripts. So let's click on like KWU courses. You can find apparently FSBO scripts and family reunion. But more than likely, you're going to find videos here, and this is going to be newest first. So let's sort this by highest rated instead. That's going to be the most number of little hearts here. We can also sort this by most popular, which I believe is going to be the most comments here. And then you can also sort this by most reviewed, which I believe is also the hearts. Who knows? You can also do that alphabetical, but let's do highest rated here. And so Nikki, this is not a FSBO. I'm a little stumped here on these search results. We'll do most popular here. Create a system to secure listings. This is by KWU. Oh, by the way, so these are a bunch of results from KW International by Gary Keller and KWU and things like that. And they're going to have a lot of great content. But if you'd rather find something from other agents, up here underneath where you can change the different types of things you're searching for, by default, what's going to be selected is KWRI only here. That means this circle here with the KW logo that's red, that lets you know this is selected. We can click on this one here that's going to show associate stuff here, and that's going to show all. So if I search that FSBO scripts and show all, it's going to show me content from everybody. We can also uncheck KW here, and this is going to be content from just other associates, not from KW International. And it looks like this lady uploaded her lore here, how profit share is calculated. So you can filter that down a little further if you want. You can do that most popular, all that fun stuff. KWConnect, I want to uncheck that. That's weird that it's showing those results. Maybe need to contact KW International about that. But this is where you can find all the things, all the tools that are provided by KW International and by other agents that have put their content in here. And you can even follow people to see all their new content as it comes out. You can comment on their content. It's very similar to YouTube. Okay. That's going to be it for our KWConnect overview for today. Everybody have a great day.